The purpose of this video is to show you how to put together an outline, how to format an outline in Google Docs. So this is going to show you how to add bullet points or numbers, and then how to get everything to line up nice and neat. So I've typed sample introduction outline at the top of my page, and now I'm going to put my cursor where I want to start. And the very first thing in my outline is my educational background. So education. And I have a bachelor's degree from Texas A&M, if I can type. I have a master's degree from the University of Houston. And I have an in-progress PhD from Texas Tech. So I want education to be my main heading, and I want those 3 degrees to be indented underneath it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight those. And I can go up here to my bullet points, and you'll see it says bulleted list. There's also a little arrow next to it that if I click, it gives me even more choices of how I might want those bullets to look. But I can just click on the bulleted list, and ta-da! It puts bullets and indents those underneath it. I also want to talk about one of my hobbies, which is food. And you'll see when I clicked my return key or the enter key again, it added another bullet point. To move on to my next heading, I can just hit enter one more time, and it takes me back to that main line. So now I'm going to talk about my hobby, which my hobby happens to be food. And as far as food goes, I like to garden just a little bit, so I have some herbs. I like to eat, and I like to cook, so I have good things to eat. Now let's indent those underneath hobby. So same thing again. I'm going to put my cursor at the end and just drag up and highlight. And I'm going to click on the bulleted list button. One more thing. Let me show you how to add even one more level of indentation. A couple of things I like to cook. I like to cook savory foods. And I like to cook cakes, decorative cakes. So I want those to be underneath cook. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight those last 2. And then right up here next to the bullet point list are these 2 little decrease indent and increase indent. The increase one has the arrow pointing to the right. So I'm going to click on that, and it pushes those 2 things underneath the word cook. Now, let's say instead of doing a bulleted list like this, I am doing a Roman numerals 1, 2, 3, ABC kind of outline. Here's how you do that. I'm going to highlight all of this, and next to the bullet points or numbers, same thing here with a little arrow. If I click the arrow next to numbered list, it gives me some options. And I like the Roman numerals ABC. That's just my default. So I'm going to click on that. But look what it did. It made everything Roman numerals, which is not what I want. So I'm going to do the same process as I did before. I want education to be Roman numeral 1, and I'm going to indent these 3 degrees underneath them. So I'm going to highlight those, and then back up here again where I can choose to increase my indent. When I click on that, it makes it ABC. Same thing here. We're going to put garden, eat, and cook under my hobby, and I'm going to increase that indent. And it goes under there. And then I want to make savory foods and cakes under cook. So again, one more time, increase my indent and there. One last thing is if I want to put a space here between education and hobby, I'm going to do what's called a soft return. And I'm going to hold the shift key. And while holding the shift key, I'm going to hit enter or return a few times. And it'll put a few spaces in there for me. So there's just a quick overview of how to do an outline.